Gonna do some more MiG-21. I'm on the Australian Through the Inferno server at the moment. Where was I up to? Get KSI calibrated. Gun sight. So hopefully same routine as yesterday. A couple kills, no team kills would be nice, but we will see how we go on that one. That should be just about everything. Yep, looks good. Sweet. Looks like we're the only ones spawning in at Sukumi today, which should at least make things a little less hectic. There's about 10 people on the server when I joined. A few more now. Also using a different skin. As much as I love the Yugoslav one, I've gone for a interestingly coloured Soviet skin, which should look pretty nice over the water and the mountains. Totally overshot that turn. Sukumi traffic, red 19, taking runway 12 for southeast departure. Sukumi. Probably no one on SRS again, or if they are, they're all on the other channel, but it's always good practice just to put out the call anyway. No one's trying to land on top of me, as far as I can tell. Get her lined up. Right. One quick check. Flaps, engine is good. Everything's set. And away we go. That's my smoothest takeoff in a while there. Gave it a little less back trim than normal. It's a little gentler on the stick, so that's probably why. Right. Sukumi traffic, red 19 clear of all active runways. Sukumi. Switch to the next, what's the AWACS channel?
Focus 100. Request bogey dope.
Get some altitude.
100. Focus. Clean.
Clean? What is this shit?
Focus. Bra 323 for 200 at 26,000. Flanking.
It's a hell of a long way out. I'm out of burner now and just save what's left of this bag for cruising.
Focus 100.
Make sure that
Request
was the
bogey
closest
dope.
contact.
100.
322 for 200.
Bra 322 for 200 at 25,000 knots. Focus. Bra 322 for 200 at 19,000 knots.
Yep, that is somehow our closest. Pair of F5s. Okay. Heading 146. So I'll just head actually about 330, and that should put me not on an intercept course, but at least near enough to one. Hey, we've got it trimmed out. Nice. But I'll just hit the SAU here, save me some workload, and get ready to drop that centerline tank. Server's a little stuttery tonight, but shouldn't be too much of an issue. Not just yet. Throttle back a bit. I don't need to rush. Get some nice screenshots. Okay, 319 for 170. We've still got quite a while before we intercept them. That tank's empty now, so I'll punch that away.
100.
Hit! MiG-21 is just such a beautiful aircraft.
093 for 80 at 23,000.
093 for 80. Well, shit, why didn't you say so earlier? That's a hell of a lot closer. May have just spawned in another wave to the east, that's probably why it's now calling them.
Focus 100. Request bogey dope. 100. Focus. Bra 061 470 at 24,000 knots. Pontiac 1-1. Request bogey dope.
That is a TU-95, which is a perfect target for us.
Focus. Bra
It's a real interceptor mission right here.
At 22,000, flanking.
064 for 66. It's at 24,000 feet. So I'll position myself slightly below him, which I'm just about good for now.
Focus. Pontiac 1-1. Request bogey dope. Pontiac 1-1. Focus. Bra 078 470 at 22,000 knots.
Once I'm within about 35 miles, I'll flip the radar on. There's no point having it on yet. We will not see him from this far away. Won't worry about going to burners, don't really need to. I'm going to be overhauling him quite a lot just in military power as it is.
Focus. Pontiac 1-1. Request bogey dope.
Face cam.
Focus. Bra
Face cam?
078 460 at
What do you think this is?
23,000
Quality?
knots.
Hey Tawny, thanks for the raid, mate. I've got like a 20-year-old webcam that shows one frame every 10 seconds. No green screen. Okay, if I had basically 0.85-ish, that should put me pretty much on an intercept for this guy. Should be just under him, so I will level the bird out. .37 miles, radar on. We ain't gonna see shit until we're within probably about 20. In this highly technologically advanced aircraft, man, you guys must be shitting yourselves after coming from Tawny's stream.
Request bogey dope.
Where are all the screens? Why is everything blue?
Pontiac 1-1. Focus. Bra 077 435 at
Mate, we don't need no fucking computers here. This is the old school way of doing things. Don't worry, nuts. One day I'll set one up. I used to try and do it for some of my older streams, but like the lighting in here is fucking shithouse. And between that and a shitty camera, you could barely even see me, so there wasn't much point. Okay, 26.1, here's 075, so it'll be off our nose to the left. I can see him conning already.
Pontiac 1-1. Focus.
Just double check we are on inner pylons, which are R3Rs.
4,000 knots.
Set to fire salvo. Missile switches in radar. Gun sight setup. So all we got to do is lock the boy and get the missiles within range. And then hope he doesn't outmaneuver them simply by flying in a straight line faster than the R3R can turn. Because these things are just... Boy, these are not good missiles. They're pieces of shit. Their only virtue is being radar guided and having slightly better range than the R60. Otherwise I wouldn't even bother carrying them.
077 414 at 24,000 knots.
Actually pretty close to affiliate, Tawny. I just need a few more average viewers, which I reckon I'll get with you guys. And I am set. Right, range gates are good.
100.
We'll let those go.
Merged.
And then quickly flip to the outer stations and IR. So if those don't kill him, the R60s will. Looks like he's trying to go defensive. I'd say that's a splash. I don't think he's going to recover from that. Yep. Sweet. Alright, we've got a TU-142 158 for 34. I may as well leave the radar on at this point. So, for those of you who are used to radars that you can just like leave on all the time, we don't do that shit here. This radar, if it's in standby, it can operate for 60 minutes. If it's in its actual operational mode, I have 25 minutes. The reason for that is because it is alcohol cooled, and this plane only carries so much vodka. If that runs out, the radar breaks, and it starts breaking other kind of important things that I want. So we don't usually leave the radar on until we're quite close to a target. Yeah, mate. Plus the ground crew will not be impressed with us if we get back and the aircraft's empty. Boys have got to have their nightcap.
100, focus, bra, 301,
28.3.
flanking.
So he should pop into life on the radar fairly soon.
100, focus, bra, 176.
Yeah, it's a great bird. It's a little unforgiving at times. It can take some getting used to. I just realised I forgot something kind of important. Guns are now armed. Yeah, it can take some getting used to, but man, it is so rewarding. Like, I'm just fighting AI at the moment because I'm on PvE server, but I've taken this thing PvP and I have killed people with it, and you feel like such a fucking champion. Okay, 176 for 25. I'm just going to leave the thing in mil power. I don't want to burn all my fuel just yet.
Focus, Pontiac 1-1, request bogey dope. Pontiac 1.
The pilot's only had 2 beers today. The pilot is as sober as he's likely to get. I do actually need to buy myself another bottle of vodka. I ran out and have not yet done a resup.
100, focus, bra, 305, 160 at 7,000 cold.
He's just vanished off our EWRS, so I have a suspicion someone else might have bagged him.
Focus, 100, request bogey dope. 100, focus,
Yeah, okay.
bra, 306,
Well then.
160 at 11,000 flanking. Focus, Pontiac 1-1, request bogey dope.
I'm gonna head back out. Actually, I'll head towards this guy.
Focus, bra,
I might have the fuel to do it.
170 at 16,000 flanking.
And if I don't, I can just set down at Sukumi or Sochi.
Focus, Pontiac 1-1.
Radar back to standby. Sorry, can't speak.
Pontiac 1-1.
All these viewers, too much excitement. So, no need to have it on at the moment. There's nothing around us. Allegedly.
Focus, 100, request bogey dope. 100.
Landing? Nah, mate, landing's fucking easy. Well, I say that, I did have a couple of whoopsies yesterday, but usually I'm pretty good with landing. It's not as hard as people make it out to be. There's a couple of key points you need to bear in mind when you try and land this bird. Probably the most important one is it has blown flaps, so you don't throttle back until you're on the ground. You want to keep yourself at or above 80% RPM, just to keep the blown flaps with air running through them. If you chop the throttle as you're coming over the fence, you're going to dump all your lift at the worst possible time. The landing speed's pretty high, but it's not unmanageable. Really, it's not that bad, honestly. The biggest issue I've had on takeoff and landing in this aircraft is tyres bursting, because they can be a bit finicky. if you get a bit carried away
Focus. Pontiac
with the
1-1.
rudder as
Request
you're on your
bogey
takeoff
dope.
run, you'll tend to burst the tyres. I've had that happen a few times because I was off
Pontiac
centre.
1-1. Focus. Bra 1-1.
If you are still on the ground above, I think it's 390 kilometers an hour, you'll lose the tyres.
Focus. 1-0-0. Request bogey dope.
Need to retrim, I'm climbing a bit.
1-0-0. Focus. Bra 124.
124 for 90.
6,000 knots.
Right behind me, of course one would spawn in right behind me as I go this way. Right, well, let's go have him.
Focus. Pontiac 1-1. Request bogey dope.
And yeah, I hear you on the mobile. The mobile app leaves a lot to be desired. That's what I use to read chat, because I only have the one monitor, so it can be a bit of a pain. 113 for... oh, that's someone else's call out. Disregard.
Focus. 1-0-0. Request bogey dope.
Just massage the burners here to get some altitude back.
480 at 28,000 knots.
5 for 80. It's an F5, so this could be interesting.
Focus. Pontiac 1-1. Request bogey dope.
My biggest pain with this aircraft is trying to get it trimmed to fly hands off. I can never do it. It's, even if I just gently flick the trim hat on my stick, it's either too much or not enough. There is no happy medium. And it's very sensitive to changes in airspeed as far as trim goes, so you really have to fly it with the trim hat quite a bit. And when I say trim, I mean pitch trim, because pitch trim is all you have, or at least it's all I have bound, but I think it is all that the aircraft actually has. I have to double check. So, yeah, it can get interesting.
Focus. Pontiac 1-1. Request bogey
If
dope.
you're... Jesus, this guy's going for the moon, 27,000 feet.
Pontiac 1-1. Focus. Bra 112.
If you're a bit, you know, special like me, and you tend to forget to put the missile or the pylon selector in the right position, and so you fire both R60s off the one wing and have two sitting on the other, the aircraft really doesn't like it. It'll roll quite a bit.
Focus. Bra 125. 450 at 6,000 knots.
Pop this on now, so I don't have to worry about it as he gets closer to me.
100. Focus. Bra 126.
Back into the
450
mill.
at 27,000 knots.
Bit of back trim. She's close enough to being hands off.
100. Focus. Pontiac 1-1. Request bogey dope.
And then I wrecked it. I had it, and I wrecked it.
Focus. Bra 112. 470 at
Should be about there.
27,000 knots.
So, little known trick with the MiG-21, I don't know how more people don't realise this. The radar in its search mode is top down,
100. Focus. Bra 30.
so it behaves, you know, as you might expect a NATO radar to behave. Someone over here is going to be off the front left of my aircraft, and then there's little up and or above and below markers on their icon to show whether they're actually above, below, or co-out with you. What most people don't realise is as soon as you lock a target with this radar, it switches into a tail chase. And so if you keep the bird sitting in that little crosshair right there, your nose is right on them.
Focus.
You can use it to kind of cue you onto where they are, which is handy for IR shots. Even if you aren't using radar missiles, you can use the radar to cue you onto the target.
460 at 26,000.
Turn AWACS down a bit because it's quite loud. The other thing it's good for is when someone's coming at you nose on, it gives you some indication of which way to look as they go over your shoulder. There he is. Con off to my front left. That would probably be this F5 we're after. Two of them, in fact. And we've got him on radar. slightly above us. Other one's trailing him by 2 miles and is quite a bit lower, so we'll take the high one first and then go for his mate if we have any missiles left by then. Once I get down to about 1,000 litres of fuel, I want to start thinking about going home. Okay, he's... Oh, no, don't freeze now, DCS. Head-on shot. Splash. Okay, the other one is below. I'm going to flip into medium altitude mode.
Focus 100. Request bogey dope.
Keep an eye out. The ground clutter is going to be a bit of a headache here while I'm descending. Just check my tail. Looks alright. Oh, come on, AWACS.
Focus 100. Request bogey dope.
100. Focus. Bra 31146 at 15,000 gold.
8,000 seas above us.
Focus 100.
This is the hard
Request bogey
part.
dope.
Trying to figure out where the fuck this guy is at, off the left.
100. Focus. Bra 302 for 300 at 25,000 knots.
Friendly here. Lost eyes on that F5.
Focus 100. Request bogey dope.
100. Focus. Bra 302.
The friendly splashing? No, 102.
5,000 knots.
Burners on. Oh nuts, you're killing me, mate.
11141 at 16,000 knots.
Lost him. He's supposedly co-out with me. He's probably coming around my right, but I can't see the spec, so...
Focus 100. Request bogey dope.
100. Focus.
And AWACS can't see him.
302 for 300 at 27,000 knots.
339. 2.1. There we go. I think the friendly tagged him. Try and get this guy on a nose and then IFF him. Where'd he go? God damn. It's so easy to lose track of people. And once you're doing this, you're in kind of serious trouble. I think that was a friendly. I hope it was. Just check F10. Yep, friendly Mirage. Cool. Radar to standby. If I can hold my head still long enough and back out of medium altitude. Righto. Oh, Kutaisi is actually held by friendlies. Interesting. So I could go there, I could go Sanaki. Oh, we hold all of this shit, man. Fuck. Alright. I guess we're rearming at Kutaisi then. And I will actually go ahead and set up my nav aids for Kataisi, since I know the settings for that from memory. Arc is... where's my arc? Zone 3-1, channel 4. Okay. Turn the arc volume down. Have, I think that's Sanaki in front of me. Yeah, it is. But we'll go for Taisi, because that's a pretty familiar airfield for me. This 08. 0826. Like the cross strip down here. Kataisi traffic, red 19 on a straight in approach, runway 08. Kataisi. Pump the brakes. It's kind of steep and close to the airfield, but I should be able to pull it off. I pulled off some pretty ridiculously ropey approaches in this thing before, so it wouldn't be anything new. Okay, we'll get our flaps down, drop our gear. Brake off, and we'll just use that to regulate our speed as needed. Put a ton of back trim in. Okay, I want to keep it about 400-ish until I'm over the fence. Bit more power, bit more power.
Focus. Pontiac 1-1. Request bogey dope. For Pontiac 1-1. Focus. Bra 305 for 260 at 30,000 knots.
Bit bouncy, but we're down safe.
100. Focus. Bra.
Should get away without the chute here, even if it does leave the brakes a little warm. Hey, how easy was that? And they say this thing's difficult to land. Oh, come on, it wasn't that bouncy. It's just a little bit. I came off the power a bit too early, I was still floating. If I just kept the power on, I would have been perfectly smooth. Weather advisory. Ooh. What the fuck? That's not the button I intended to press. Is that in fixed beam? No. Oh, I think I accidentally hit the self-test for the radar. That's what it was. 10,000 IQ. I will just taxi over to one of these revetments, turn around and refuel and rearm. Should have enough room to turn here. Hopefully. And enough air in the brakes, hopefully. That's kind of the bigger problem. Whee! There we go. And just get the wheels straightened out so I don't run off into the grass as soon as I move. There we are. So I'd call that a successful sortie. A Tu-95 and an F5. Kind of surprised to take the F5 head on, but the R60M is a pretty good missile for being what it is. Won't bother shutting down, I'll just get the ground crew to refuel and rearm on the go.
Дозаправка по плану. Перезарядка по плану. Принял.
I gotta say, I really do like this skin. It's fucking awesome. Let's see what else is going on while we wait for the ground crew to do their thing. Got a Predator circling over here. Bunch of Predators in the air. Man, I can't wait to be flying this thing. Cannot wait. So everyone must be a fair distance away from me to getting the be getting the water bug. Yeah, they're all up northwest-ish. It's probably where the action is, so once I'm rearmed here, I will probably head up there. I might restation myself at Sochi. That seems to be the place to be at the moment. Sochi or my cop, maybe. Right, ready to go. Oh, I was on the fucking AWACS frequency. 10,000 IQ.
Командир, оружие подвешено.
Good thing that there was nobody else on the runway. Yeah, all those targets are like 230, 240 miles away to our northeast, or northwest, sorry. So that is the place to go. Make sure I'm actually on the right frequency this time. Kutaisi traffic, Red 19 takes runway 26 for departure to the west. Kutaisi. Flaps are set, trim is set, everything looks good. And away we go. Rearm the gun and switch back to my radar missiles as I'm climbing out. Once I'm established in the cruise, I'll switch my nav aids around to Sochi. Or at least the RSPN. I can't remember what the ARC code for Sochi is. Not off the top of my head. Sanaki down there. Ah, I wasn't as trimmed as I thought. I was actually nose down trim. That'll teach me to not actually check it. Certainly explains why I didn't climb out as steeply as I'd planned to. A bit of a zoom climb here. Belly tank's empty, so we'll get rid of that. And level off. Let's use the SAU here. Right. Check this handy little chart. Sochi is channel 6 on the RSPN. There we go. Looks like it's picked it up already. Actually, I might have the arc zone on here. I think I do. Okay, Sector 3-1, I think it is, so just same setting for arc. Channel 3. Or is it Channel 2? Channel 2, I think. Cool. Let's see if our closest trade's 140 miles away. So it'll be a while before we see anything unless a bunch of guys pop up somewhere to our right again like they did previously. Nice easy cruise. While I've got nothing better to do, I might set the low altitude warning to 50 meters, just in case I get a bit well acquainted with the mountains. The nose will brake on, because I'll want that on when I land. Everything else is pretty much configured as it should be. We're doing alright, 2 kills, haven't taken any hits yet. That Mirage is having a good day. That was the guy that bagged the other F5 earlier. Okay, so I've got a bunch of contacts about 300 to 310, all 120-ish miles away. We should have enough fuel by the time we get there to actually take 1 or 2 of them, and then head straight to Sochi. So I was previously flying from Sukhumi, which is down here.
Focus. Uzi 1-1. Request bogey dope.
Sochi is further up the coast, right there.
Focus. Bra 311 417 at 30,000 flanking.
Looks like all that trade is actually around Mycot. Pretty much around Bullseye, actually. So we should be in the thick of it.
Bra 306 423 at 30,000 hot.
If anyone's wondering why my map looks different than theirs, I'm using the Russian icons. I find the Russian icons much easier to interpret than NATO icons, because they generally look like what they're supposed to represent, instead of a series of abstracted boxes with funny lines in them.
100. Focus. Bra 312 110 at 24,000 flanking.
Finish off my tea before it goes cold. There we go. Instruments all look pretty happy.
Focus. Bra 253 440.
Looks like it's just past noon. Start booking a bit northwest here. 295 and
Uzi
303.
1-1. Request bogey dope.
Uzi 1-1, focus, bra, 238, 435 at 27,000, flanking.
Sure is a nice view up here. I'm glad that they chose the Caucasus as a setting for the game's main map. I mean, obviously they would because they already had it from the previous games, but lots of mountains and valleys to hide in, and it looks beautiful to fly over. Once I do eventually figure out how to use the Viggen's systems, I can fly it, I just don't know how to set it up for ground attack and stuff like that. I think I will be having a lot of fun ripping down these canyons and valleys. Likewise, if they ever add the F-111, I know exactly what I'm going to be doing.
Focus 100. Request bogey dope.
Still 76 miles.
Focus, bra, 300, 470 at 19,000, hot.
So they're west-northwest of Bulls. I wonder if they may be going for the 135. That would certainly be a bit of an issue. Server's starting to thin out a bit, which is actually good news for me because it means less people to compete with for kills. Our Mirage friend has headed off, which makes me the equal most successful at killing other aircraft at the moment. Somehow.
100, focus, bra, 320, 480 at 27,000, flanking. 100, focus, bra, 302, 450 at 19,000.
Bunch of cons up there, those are probably friendlies, I would imagine.
Focus Uzi 1-1.
There was a big
Request bogey dope.
clusterfuck of them on the map. That'll be those guys right there. Looks like,
1-1, focus,
so they might be
bra,
trying to refuel.
276, 412 at 21,000, hot.
Well, a Predator and a Harrier. Predator's low. That'll be the 135, the Harrier, and probably that F-18.
326, 470 at 17,000, flanking.
301, 43.
Uzi 1-1.
I'm gonna flip the radar on.
Bogey dope.
Uzi 1-1, focus, bra, 2
Focus Uzi 1-1. Request bogey dope.
27 miles at 18,000 feet. Perfect, he'll be out Coal, maybe just above us. Using my handy little trick for reading the altimeter in Imperial instead of metric. One of those happy little accidents, since I'm pretty sure the Soviets didn't do that on purpose. should start to see this guy on the radar right about now. There he is. So that's the lead F5.
445 at 19,000 cold.
Now there are bombers being called, which would be much better targets for the R3s, but I'll try them on the F5. Best case I'll hit him. Worst case they'll force him defensive and I can finish him with the heaters.
11, focus, bra, 168, 440 at 18,000 flanking.
Okay, that's our radar missiles away. We will flip to the outer pylons and to the IR.
100, focus.
Looks like he's gonna pass us high right. I can see him. Just there. 2 R60Ms out. They went for his flares.
100, focus, bra, 150.
It's a little steeper than I intended.
16,000 cold.
Oh, he's going into the sun, the cheeky bastard. Yeah, that's it. Go right. How's our airspeed? Put the second stage burner on. I've lost eyes on him. Oh shit. There he is. Is he hot or cold? Looks like he's cold. We should have a good shot here for the heaters. Come on, come on. Yep. That's a splash. Yeah, boy. Alright. I do still have the gun, even though I'm out of missiles, so I'm going to go ahead and uncage the gun sight into shooting mode and see if there's anything else. Okay, 350, 0.5, so there's another F5
Focus,
quite close.
100. Request bogey dope.
Try and fly kind of sort of evasively until I know for sure that he's either gone or in front of me. Because the MiG-21 is seriously blind in every direction except forwards. Can't see another smoke trail on my tail, so should be alright.
Focus, 100.
He's off
Request
the
bogey dope.
EWRS. And AWACS isn't calling him, so we might be good. We still have a hell of a lot of fuel though. So, 102 for 90. Let's do it.
239 for 140 at 30,000 flanking.
101 for 90 at 21,000 feet. What the fuck is locking me? I swear to God if that's a friendly. If that's another Hornet about to shoot me down. Settle on this course. 82 miles. Should probably put myself... Actually, no, I'll just stay on the AWACS channel. It'll be fine.
100. Focus. Bra. 241 for 140 at 22,000 knots.
If anyone else is going to go for those guys. Looks like I'm the furthest out in this direction. So, it might just be me.
Focus,
Which I have no problems with.
1-1. Request bogey dope.
Everyone else can just hang around bullseye.
1-1. Focus. Bra. 117 for 130 at 27,000 flanking.
Hey, he's now 109 at 72. So I'm going to bear right a little. Probably about 120, should put me close to an intercept course, I would think. try not to get nailed by his tail gunner. So if I can, I'll come in directly above or below. Just go for a high deflection shot on him rather than risk the tail gun. Or sweep in from the side or something. If I can lock him with a radar, then it should be relatively easy to pop him with the gyro, because I think it automatically ranges the gun sight and sets it to the right span. I'm not entirely certain, actually. If it doesn't, it's fine. I'll just wing it. If in doubt, wing it.
100. Focus. Bra. 245 for 140 at 27,000 knots.
Okay, 115, 52.
100. Focus. Bra.
So I could probably even head a bit more southerly and still catch him. I think I might do that actually. I'll go about 130.
100. Focus. Bra. 117, 450 at 25,000 flanking.
Right, radar goes on. Put it back in high altitude mode. Actually, no, I'll leave it in medium altitude mode for now. Still about 1,400 kilos of fuel, 1,400 litres. So I should have enough to get back to Sochi, but if I don't, I'll just divert to either Sukhumi or Gudada. Got plenty of options. We seem to have captured a hell of a lot more air bases than we had this time yesterday, so all good. Might actually bring my course left a bit. Should have him on the radar in about a minute or two. See him conning just out the left quarter panel there. That would be him. So usually about the distance that the cons start to pop into view is about where you can start looking at your radar screen and expecting something to appear on it. 27,000 feet. We got some climbing to do. Plenty of time to do it though. And I think I will come up from under him as opposed to coming down from above, just because my radar can see much better upwards than downwards. So it's probably best to keep him above my nose and just zip up from under his belly. He might not see me that way as well. Well, I mean, he'll see me, but he might not be able to do much about it. Just on the edge of our lock range. So we can start to see them about 35 kilometers, we can lock them about 20. Does anyone know the wingspan of a Tu-95 off the top of their head? So it looks like it hasn't automatically set itself. I'm going to guess probably about... We'll go for 36 maybe. probably do have a chart somewhere on my knee board with all the different wingspans, but
100.
a bit late to check it.
Merged.
50 meters? Oh, it wouldn't be that much. Oh, actually it might be, because the Vulcan's like 26, I think, and the Vulcan's quite a large aircraft. Go for about 45, see how we go with that. Just try and keep him locked. Tagged him. Okay, I'll overshoot and go around. I don't want to put negative G on the engine. It'll cut out. At least he'll be easy to see now. But these things are pretty strongly built, so I don't think that's going to be enough to down him. Use a little burner to catch back up. Tail gunner shooting at us. There we go. Deprived him of his wing spar. Okay, we're getting kind of low on fuel. I probably do have enough to go for the second Tu-142, but... where's my nearest? Yeah, nah, we won't. We'll go back to Sochi. Yeah, his wingspan's a bit less than it was. Quite a bit less. Crank this back down, because we'll probably see fighters next. And recage that. Sweet. Well, that went pretty well. Hang on, 3-5. Really?
Focus 100. Request bogey dope.
If that's another 142 right there, fuck it, we're going for it, boys.
100.
Yep, that is. Alright.
Bra 347.
We'll undo everything we just did.
At 38,000 flanking.
We'll go, yeah, about 50. Oh, what luck. One spawns just in front. But trim nose down a bit because I was kind of nudging the stick to keep the aircraft on target there. Yep, that is sure as shit another Tu-142. It's basically a Tu-95, just maritime patrol version. So fitted with a with sonar buoys and all sorts of other fun stuff.
Focus. Bra 323 for 210 at 38,000.
He's diving.
100. Focus. Bra 323 for 210 at 27,000 knots.
Okay, out of burner. Has he been hit by a SAM? He might have been.
100. Focus.
He's
Bra
damaged.
308
We'll finish him.
at 22,000 flanking.
Yeah, it looks like he's been tagged by one of the SAMs, maybe at Sukumi. So we will finish the job that the ground boys could not. Oh, never mind. Never fucking mind. Ah, cheated. That's alright, we got one. One is good enough for me. I'm quite happy with that result. Now the real question is, do I have enough to make Sochi, or am I going to have to divert? Might end up needing to land at Gudada, but we'll see how we go. Trimmer out, radar to standby. Pretty much trim to fly hands off. Very slight climb there. Here we are, we're in the wonderful zone where I can only trim too much or not enough. Whatever, we'll just use the SAU. Auto level it. How's that, boys? 4 kills. 1 with guns. I'm pretty happy with that. Certainly making a much better impression of myself on this server than I did on Georgia at War, I'll say that much. I've yet to team kill anyone on here, which is a big plus. G-Man didn't though. G-Man, within about 10 minutes of joining and getting off the ground, G-Man managed to tag a friendly and get himself kicked. And then I was very shortly afterwards tagged by a Hornet with an AMRAAM. As it turns out, the MiG-21 does not really give much of a shit about AMRAAMs because I caught one right up the tailpipe and my aircraft flew back to base and landed normally as if nothing was wrong. Someone who did not fess up to the incident, and I only found out it was them through watching the VOD back, may have taxied their Hornet into me because they were too busy looking at the stream. And while it shaved their wing off and set them on fire, it just like slightly damaged my tail, and the aircraft behaved as if there was no damage at all. So the MiG-21 is a very solidly built little plane, to the point where like the damage model's very detailed. I actually think I knocked my gyros out the other day by pulling too much G. But on the other hand, you can like belt this thing onto the ground and somehow not explode. It's very, very solid. With that said, it is essentially just a barrel with wings. So relative to something like a Hornet, it probably does have a lot of structural integrity, to be honest. Alright, where are we? Good fucking question. Ah, right here. So that'll be Gudada off to my left. I should make Sochi, no problem. I got, oh, actually 450 liters. Nah, let's land at Gudada and refuel. So, runway 15. And I am 10 miles. Gudada traffic, Red 19 will be joining a left base for runway 15. Gudada. Okay, get rid of that. And, yeet! back trim. Yeah, you should. It's a lot of fun. Like, honestly, it is a lot of fun. I do have other aircraft, but I just keep coming back to this one again and again. Okay, we'll ditch the brakes for now. Full flaps. No, we want the brakes back out. Just to avoid overspeeding flaps. Get out of traffic. Red 19, left base. Turning final runway. Whatever that is, I can't remember the number. 15, that's the one. Some power back on, because we let a bit too much speed there. Had a bit of a shit my pants moment there, because I was wondering why the Sork's flashing. It's just because I've got 450 litres of fuel left. I thought I might have broken something. Okay, we're coming in a little fast. Flares won't pop with the gear out, which is kind of a bummer because I was going to use them to just make sure that everyone knew what I was coming in to do. Beautiful, gentle touchdown. Probably won't need the chute. Got plenty of runway left, it looks like. Oh boy. I'm quite proud of myself there. I'll put the nose wheel braking back off so we can taxi this baby around. So yeah, it's a good thing I decided to land here instead of go all the way through to Sochi, because I'm down to like my last 200 litres of fuel and I've only just sat down. That would have been a real Ralphie dude fuel level master caution thing if I tried to go for Sochi. I would have been gliding. And this doesn't glide real well, oddly enough. Get out of traffic, red 19, clear all runways. Get out of. Just do a U-turn here. Next to the long boys. Like, seriously, check out the length of these fuel trucks, man. It's fucking ridiculous. How the fuck would you turn a corner in that? Oh look, SU-25. Whee! Okay, straighten out. So, as well as the steering being done by differential braking only, the nose wheel just casters freely. So if you get yourself into like a sharp turn and then stop and then try and move again without remembering you were in a sharp turn, you will go whee straight off the taxiway into the dirt or into another aircraft or into a hangar. So you've got to be conscious of where your nose wheel is pointed at all times. Okay, ground crew. Still had some ammo left in the gun. Might not have been enough to bring down that second bomber, but we could have at least given him a good scare.
Дозаправка по плану. Перезарядка по плану.
Let's see what everyone else is doing. Oh, got an A10 going out. Got his strobes on in broad daylight. Come on, man. can't remember which squadron's the checkerboard tail. Tawny would probably know. I think it might be... maybe 77? I should know this. I used to live right near Williamtown, but... I don't remember. Anyway. Are the ground crew done yet? No, they're not. Still refueling me, I think.
Командир, борт заправлен.
Okay, refueling's done. Rearming is next.
All stations Cadar, Red Belly, radio check please.
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear, confirmed, thank you.
Take runway 33 and just head
Командир, оружие
northwest,
подвешено.
if that's where the fun is still happening. Yep, that is where the fun is still happening. Okay, let me just double check there's no one actually on the runway right now. Actually, 25's moving. I'll let him... Is he moving? Oh my god. Don't tell me he's one of these drivers. Alright, well, we'll just go. Out of traffic, Red 19 taxis to runway 33 for northwest departure. Without him. Okay, flaps set. Trim, I will set now. That should be enough. Oh shit, I didn't have my gear neutral. Fuck. Let's hope the ground crew refilled the air bottles. Man, I miss hearing the jets go over. I was in town for, like, in Newcastle for work one day, and the boys were out playing over the harbour. Fuck, it was awesome. Just sat there on my lunch break, watching them. Get out of traffic, Red 19 taking runway 33, northwest departure. Get out of. Let's go straight into burner. Aircraft's already configured. We checked everything
Traffic,
on the
Red
taxis.
Belly area, taxiing to runway 15.
Lost a tyre. I got a bit carried away there, trying to keep the thing on the centre line, so I popped my fucking one of my main gear tyres. Oh well. We'll worry about it when we have to land. Get out of traffic, Red 19, clear of all active runways. Last call, get out of it. Not sure which tyre that was. It was one of the main gear tyres. Just have to be careful on landing. Really careful. I could just land with the nose gear out and skid the thing on its belly in the grass, but I'd really rather not. I should be okay to land just on the rim. It'll just have to be a really, really good landing. Which I'm capable of, but only ever seem able to do when I don't need to.
Focus 100. Request bogey dope.
346 for 50.
100. Focus. Bra 347 450 at 26,000 knots.
recenter my track IR. I'm doing a bit too much fidgeting around. And we'll bring her out of burner. .347, he is heading pretty much south. 36 miles.
Focus, bra, 084.
Radio.
At 27,000.
Radar on. 26,000 feet, so he's above us. Which is just where we want him to be for the radar. Okay, a bit more back trim. Bring the nose up. Just get ready to drop that bag because it's about to empty. 347 or 21, so he's just about to pop up on our radar. 25,000 feet, he's above us. And still heading almost south, not quite. Okay, there he is. Dead off the nose, and you can see him conning. Looks like he's just started a descent. Bag is empty, so we'll get rid of that. Same drill as before, I'll blast a couple of R3Rs at him to try for a lucky hit, or at least force him defensive, and then switch to heaters for in close, if he gets in close. Which he probably will. The R3R is really not for dealing with fighters. Get rid of those. Inner pylons, and I have him visual. Just off my nose there.
Focus, merged.
R60s. Looks like they might have gone for his flares. But we're in a good position for another shot. Not sure why my gun sight's blown out like that, but it's a bit of a worrying sign. I haven't seen it do that before. Ah, shit, and I've lost him in the fucking trees. Where's he gone?
Focus 100. Request bogey dope.
100. Focus, clean. Focus, pop-up group 31142 at 6,000 knots.
Why has my radar gone off? That would explain why... Shit. Okay. We're actually in trouble here. Someone's conning above us.
Focus 100. Request bogey dope.
100. Focus, clean.
And with no radar, that means no IFF. I see two aircraft up there. Looks like they're engaged. I don't know where this F5 has gone. 097. 5.7 at 5,300 feet, but it doesn't tell me which direction. Oh wait, yep, 033, so he's tracking north. So he should cross my nose, I hope.
100. Request bogey dope.
100. Focus.
Come on, man. I'd like to know what happened to my radar. Maybe the ground crew don't actually refill the coolant or something? I have no idea. He isn't behind me. Is that smoke down there? I think I see smoke. Might have just been dirt on the canopy though.
Focus. 100. Request bogey dope.
100. Focus.
No.
Clean.
I got nothing. Oh, that's a bummer. I nearly had him. I had him banged to rights and then he just vanished into those trees. No, it's an AI. This is a PvE server. Unfortunately, it's very hard to find populated servers where you're in Cold War jets fighting humans. Everyone's just flying fucking Hornets and flankers and stuff. Which you can kill in the MiG-21, but you need really a GCI and or a wingman, which I don't have at the moment.
110 at 22,000 cold. 100. Focus. Bra 079 for 110 at 10,000 cold.
Trying to remember where the radar test button is.
Focus. Bra 272 for 150 at 19,000 knots.
Self-test. Looks like it's out totally. Right. We will be landing then. Where am I currently? I am north of Sochi. So I want to land runway 06.
100. Focus. Bra.
Sochi traffic, red 19, currently 10 miles north of the aerodrome. We'll be joining downwind runway 06 in Sochi. My radio calls are getting so sloppy. so sloppy. Okay, so we'll come around left. That will be Sochi over there. Probably actually should just join on base. I got plenty of fuel to play with, so it doesn't matter. Repair timer seems to be extremely long, if it even works in multiplayer, so when I land I'll probably just switch aircraft. Speed things up a little. So I'm not sure quite what happened there. We may have run out of coolant and just burnt the radar out, or it may have just had a random failure. I do have random failures turned on. I know a lot of people don't like it. Personally, I do. It's just more of a challenge. Keeps you on your toes. And ultimately, in real life, shit does sometimes go wrong, even on the best serviced aircraft. In fact, they're usually more likely to go wrong after a servicing. Sometimes tinkering with something is what actually breaks it. Sochi traffic, red 19, joins downwind, runway 06. Sochi. Way too close. Should have been further out from the runway, so this isn't going to be a base turn so much as a big hairpin to get onto final. And I'm bleeding too much speed here, so I'll put a bit more power on. Just a little burner to get us back up. Sloppy as fuck approach. Sochi traffic, red 19, 3 mile final, runway 06, Sochi. Just leave it on takeoff flaps. I don't need full flaps at this point. I'm already shallow enough. Mind the power lines, conveniently placed right at the end of the fucking main runway. Little hard. Oh, that's right. I had a pop tyre on that side, didn't I? Right, we'll try and just... So I would have needed to switch aircraft anyway, thanks to the tyre bursting. And we taxied straight onto the other reactive runway, which is a brilliant move. Come on. Aircraft really wants to turn left because of the friction. I'm at full right rudder, constantly pumping the differential brakes to try and keep it straight, but we'll just get off the runway and then switch. There we go. Sochi traffic, red 19, clear all active runways, Sochi. Aircraft's not too happy about this, as you might notice. Looks like we're actually down to rims on both main gear wheels, so it is definitely time to switch out. Oh, wrong button. There we go. Right, there we go. Oh, helps if you unseal the canopy. Rather than do the Alt-J thing and leave a smoking wreck right in the middle of the apron, I'll just go select roll and go out that way. Aha, perfect. And it has spawned us back at... all the way back down here, actually, at fucking Sukumi. Which is a bit annoying, but we'll deal with it. CR13. Yeah, 55. I don't know. I'll have to look those up and figure out what they are. I don't think they're not Soviet missiles, are they? They might be Serbian ones.
Перезарядка по плану. Принял.
Another T-142 up there. How is this game? It is a lot of fun. It takes some getting used to, especially if you're not really from a simming background, but once you do, it's pretty awesome. It has some typical Russian game jank to it. The netcode can be spotty at times, and it does tend to be crash happy, but when it works really well. May as well settle my nav aids up for Sochi now. I'm probably going to end up basing myself there after this. Yeah, it's some of the aircraft are easier to get into than others, like the Flaming Cliffs 3 aircraft. They're still very detailed in terms of the flight model, but the controls are a lot less complicated. You don't have to worry about full startup procedures and clickable cockpits and all that stuff. But personally, I really enjoy being able to just micromanage every little switch and button in the aircraft. So this is my jam. This is my office, and I love it. Alright, we've already got that aligned. We'll set the low altitude warning for 50 meters. Flaps are at takeoff. Okay, I think other than a bit of back trim on the stick and some cockpit lighting, we are cushy. Touch back trim, that should do. Now which runway is closest? I'll probably just go for runway 12 again, actually. take the emergency brake off. That would be a good plan to get moving. Sukumi traffic, red 19, taxis runway 12 for departure to the southeast. Sukumi. Get a load of that beauty. Go for the intercept on that, Tupolev, and then start heading... Actually, there's a bunch of stuff popping up to the east and southeast, so I might hang around Sukumi for a bit. Yeah, there's an option in settings to like simulate having your earphones on in the cockpit, which I've got turned on, so it is much quieter inside than outside. It's probably quite loud for you guys. I've got to apologize for that. I have quite a bit of hearing loss, so I tend to have things turned up very loud just so I can hear them. It should be set a little lower on OBS so it's not as deafening for you, but I'm not sure how well that comes out because, as I said, I can't hear very well, so I'm not the best judge. Sukumi traffic, red 19, taking runway 12 for southeast departure. Sukumi. Just check text chat, make sure no one's trying to take off the other end of the runway. Not everyone in here is on SRS. In fact, I think I might be I think one other guy I've encountered has been on SRS and everyone else seems to either be not on it or just not listening, so it's a little bit dicey sometimes around the runways because you don't know what to expect. Okay, flaps set, trim set, everything is on that needs to be, engine looks happy, let's go. Get this back on the center line. Sukumi traffic, red 19, clear all runways, last call, Sukumi. I do a bit of flying in real life. I fly a light sport aircraft. I'm not a qualified pilot yet, I'm still a student. I haven't flown for about a year.
Traffic, ice take single F-18, taxiing to runway 15.
Wrong net.
Focus. 1
You want to be on...
Alpha, check the tanker.
Can't remember what channel it is. 0 in a MiG. It's like 254 or something.
236, 440.
Yeah, I've been learning to fly a light sport aircraft, so I do have some real-life flying experience. I've got about 50 hours under my belt at the moment, probably about 15, 20 solo. But it's a whole other world flying one of these bad boys. And obviously, like, even as good of a sim as DCS is, there are certain things that you can't really account for. Like, you don't have the feel of the aircraft that you would have in real life. And the weather generally is pretty tame because most DCS players aren't masochists and won't give themselves strong crosswinds to deal with. On the other hand, I enjoy suffering, so I always like a challenge. Okay, this TU-142 is just ahead of us and above.
Traffic ice pack is entering runway 15 for departure to the east.
Fuck me. Oh, whatever. If he wants to stay on the wrong net, he can stay on the wrong net. Ain't my problem.
Focus. OZ 1-1. Request
Okay,
bogey
we'll
dope.
blast a couple of R3s at this guy as soon as we're in range. Hopefully they'll track, but they are R3s, so I'm not going to hold my breath. And then once they're away, we'll switch to our heaters. I don't want to waste R60s on him though, so I'll probably go for a guns kill.
Focus. Merged.
Looks like we may have tagged him there.
100. Focus. Bra 291 for 230 at 12,000 knots.
Okay, here we go. Bit of nose down trim. Actually going kind of slow here.
Traffic ice pack is clear of the active. I'm currently climbing past 6,000 feet.
100.
God knows why my radar isn't... There we go.
For 220 at
We are a bit slow, so we'll put some burner in just to catch up to him. Back to mill power.
100. Focus. Bra 197 for 1 at 23,000 cold.
Still a little off there.
100. Focus. Bra 003 for 110 at 22,000 cold. 100. Focus. Bra 162 for 60 at 30,000 flanking.
There we go. That got him.
Focus. Bra 001 for
Back to
120
missiles.
at 20,000 flanking.
Okay, should be configured now.
100. Focus. Bra 001 for 120 at 22,000 flanking.
263 is our next closest, so basically behind us.
Focus. Bra 269 for 26 at 28,000 knots.
Focus 100. Request bogey dope.
100. Focus. Bra 274 for 24 at 28,000 knots.
274 for 24. Put some burner on and get rid of that belly tank, which I should have done like a minute or two ago when it actually emptied.
Focus 100. Request bogey dope.
There he is, can see him conning off the nose.
100. Focus. Bra 295
And he should pop up on radar in just a moment.
27,000 knots.
There he is. That is an enemy F5. Use the radar to lock him and then use that to cue the nose onto his aircraft for heaters.
357 for 130 at 22,000
I may get a
flanking.
chance at a nose on shot here, but I'm not going to count on it too much. I think he may have just taken a hit from a SAM. And I'm not getting him with the heaters. Why are they not picking him up? Okay, have him visual. Add him visual. Okay, he's gone around behind and climbing. It's conning again. Make sure our missiles are actually on and armed. Nope, we're still in guns mode. There we go.
356 for 130 at 20,000 flanking.
Someone else up here too. Whoa! Okay. There's a friendly on him too, I think. Have to really watch what we shoot at here. That's a friendly trailing, I believe. Yep, friendly is trailing. We'll just let him try and tag this guy. If that doesn't work, we'll come in. He's got a hit on him.
Focus. Uzi 1-1. Request bogey dope.
Still on his tail.
Uzi 1-1. Focus. Bra 059 for 28 at 20,000 hot.
Come on, man, finish him. If you can't, I will. I think you got him. Yep, splash. Get some altitude back.
Focus. Uzi 1-1.
153 for 23.
Uzi 1-1.
20,000 feet.
Bra 105 for 40 at 20,000 flanking.
Should have another contact here in a moment.
100. Focus. Bra 347.
Focus. 100.
There he is.
Request bogey dope.
100. Focus. Bra
Service filling up again.
152 for 15 at 17,000.
But we got some serious competition in here now for kills. Okay, we've got him faded. He may be notching us. So radars read relative motion. So if they're coming towards you or away from you, the radar will see them. If they're flying perpendicular to you, the radar's going to have a lot of trouble.
Request bogey dope.
And I think that's what's going on here. He seems to be notching.
Uzi 1-1. Focus.
Focus. 100. Request bogey dope.
I'm probably going to get a merge call any second now, but I can't see this guy. He's off my nose somewhere. Oh, there he is. We're in the merge. Oh, fuck. Engine didn't like that.
Focus. Uzi 1-1. Request bogey dope.
Uzi 1-1. Focus. Bra 058 for 28
Lost sight of him.
at 19,000 flanking.
Oh, there he is. Faded that one.
At 24,000 knots.
No idea where he's gone.
Focus. 100. Request bogey dope.
There he is. Oh, friendly's on him.
100. Focus. Bra 340 for
Stalling.
130 at 17,000 flanking.
Come off the stick for a moment. This guy's mad. He's going in guns only, and he's doing alright, to be honest. Okay, no eyes on the friendly. I'm gonna do a bit of a cheeky thing here and shoulder shoot him. Oh, I think I just saw another merge there.
100. Focus.
Okay, missiles away. Please don't track the friendly. Oh god.
11,000.
Oh, Jesus. That was uncomfortable. We really don't have the energy to pull with this guy.
100. Focus.
It's like our friendly there may have landed a hit.
41 at 12,000. Flanking. 100. Focus. Bra. 339. 130.
Assume this is the F5. Yep.
Flanking.
Please track the right target.
Focus.
Yep, there we go.
Bra. 263. 150 at 27,000. Flanking.
Looks like they've gone stupid, but I think he's a goner.
Focus. Bra. 299 for 180 at 30,000 knots.
It's a friendly F5, I think.
100. Focus.
Yeah.
Bra. 262 for 140 at 23,000 knots.
Hey, radar to standby. And back to base to rearm.
100. Focus. Bra. 300 for 170 at 30,000 flanking.
Sukumi's getting quite busy. And I am picking up way too much altitude. Try and trim this out for level flight. Had another Hornet. 2 Hornet IFF whoopsies. Gotta watch out for those Hornets, guys. They don't know what the fuck they're shooting at. One of them tagged me yesterday. Thankfully the MiG-21 doesn't give a shit about AMRAAMs, and I was able to RTB with no actual serious issues. Okay. Still fucking climbing. Level out here. Sukumi traffic, red 19, currently 15 miles southeast of the aerodrome. We'll be joining downwind at runway 12. Sukumi. Let's burn this altitude nice and quick. Now the MiG-21 doesn't like being inverted because the header tank for when you're upside down or pulling negative G is only 80 litres. You've got about 5 seconds of inverted time at mil power, or might be in burner. Either way, one way to solve this problem, if you need to be inverted, is to just pull 1G. Problem solved. So a little sort of S-turn to get down to low altitude without starving the engine. And we're not quite on a downwind, but we're pretty close. Trim and lose some speed. Pop the air brakes. Just make sure we don't lose too much. Bit of back trim.
Marco, Uzi, 1-1. Request rejoin.
These kids and their aerial refueling. Looks like it's quite busy down there. Someone's on the holding point already. I think someone's on the holding point already. Nope. It's clear. Okay. Cool. Drop our first stage flaps. Sakumi traffic, red 19 turns base, runway 12. Sakumi. A bit more into this turn. My air brakes in? Yes, they were. Okay, good. Slightly overshot, but that doesn't matter, we're good. Probably only use the one stage of flaps for this landing, so we're coming in pretty shallow. Sakumi traffic, red 19 final, runway 12. Sakumi. Way off the center line, boys. As fucking always. That's alright. Where we're going, we don't need no center line to land. We'll just set the thing down wherever. Okay, speed brake out. Oops, should have probably put the nose wheel braking on, but we'll deal with that once we're on the ground. Nice and gentle, easy does it. Nose wheel braking on. Did I pop a tyre? Yeah, I did. I landed a bit fast. So it was smooth, but it was fast. Lost our right main gear, or our right main tyre. So we'll just get off the runway and switch aircraft, since the ground crew will take forever to do anything about it. That was a pretty successful flight, I think, even if we did waste most of our missiles on stuff that was being shot down by other people. Ah, right. Better cut the chute, or I will not be going anywhere. Taxiing with a burst tyre is a little interesting. Sakumi traffic, red 19, clear all runways. Sakumi.
Uzi, 1-1, inbound.
I really need to work on my inbound calls. I keep forgetting shit. Like, even when I was flying every other day, I was still forgetting at least one thing in an inbound call. So, obviously you want to tell people where you're talking to. Position relative to the airfield. Altitude, which I keep forgetting in this. Inbound, which is probably the most important bit. Timed circuit, I don't know, because I don't have an easy way of figuring it out in this aircraft. So I just let that one slip anyway. And then intention. And all I've been doing is basically position relative to the airfield and intent. Whoopsies. Whoopsie daisies. Mind you, that's still like 190% more communication than most people on this server are engaging in. So I guess that's something. I think there's only one or two other people on SRS. Certainly only one or two other people speaking on SRS. Alright, we'll just park up out here. Oh, someone's had a whoopsie right there. What's that? That looks like a Huey. Someone totaled their Huey right in the middle of the parking area. Good shit, man. Good shit. In fact, not the parking area, that's a fucking taxiway. Alright, we'll just park up here. Right.
Перезарядка по плану.
Принял.
Pop the lid to get some peace and quiet in here.
Командир, оружие подвешено. Okay, we should be pretty much configured. And we're rearmed. Security traffic, red 19 taxis, runway 12 for southeast departure. Security. Oh, that was off, okay.